Somewhere in China, there exists Bureau 749, a secret research facility that investigates strange occurrences supported by 5 additional centers scattered throughout the nation, along with numerous laboratories bound to its mission. On June 5, 1992, an incident occurred in a location within central southern China. A catastrophic mining disaster claimed the lives of 47 workers, and only one miner managed to escape the collapsed pit successfully. Trapped underground, this miner discovered an unknown cave where he encountered seeds of unfamiliar organisms and winged alien skeletons. Moreover, he discovered a significant quantity of enigmatic metal pieces that appeared to be components of the alien spacecraft. Subsequently, the entire case was designated as a significant top-secret matter, and it was handed over for investigation to the highly classified 749 Life Sciences Research Center, also known as Bureau 749. 8 months later, the rescued miner passed away from a mysterious illness, while his pregnant wife's fetus exhibited abnormalities as well. Bureau 749 held the belief that the miner's exposure to unknown organisms in the mine was the reason for the abnormalities of the fetus. Knowing this, the authorities decided to close the mine, and they sent the skeleton along with the metal fragments to Bureau 749's research center in Hong Kong City so that a thorough investigation could be conducted. After 18 years had passed, a mysterious, thick white mist enveloped Hong Kong City. After conducting tests, the authorities conclude that it is non-harmful, but they remain vigilant in their assessment. Meanwhile, Guoju, a retired scientist who is wheelchair-bound, is accompanied by his wife, Erniang, and a young man named Ma Shan, the fetus that evolved with abnormalities and was the son of the deceased miner. They operate a spacious bar that resembles a warehouse situated adjacent to the mining pit. One day, Guoju receives an anonymous email that contains confidential reports from Bureau 749, and he is both intrigued and cautious about its contents. The reports provide a detailed account of the emergence of unknown life forms in the lake of the mining pit recently. It reveals that Bureau 749 had collected samples of the organism from the lake of the mining pit, which demonstrated high levels of adaptability, and these organisms were capable of digesting or absorbing various metals and proteins. This organism possessed remarkable abilities and could not only actively hunt but also kill a creature that is thousands of times larger than itself. It also possessed an extremely high level of intelligence, as it employed camouflage through mimicry or lured its target before hunting. Knowing the danger, the scientists attempted various experiments to eliminate it, but they ultimately failed because the organism proved to be far more harmful than they expected. Afterward, the scientists chose to examine the lake of the mining pit again, but numerous massive tentacles rose from the lake and assaulted them. Subsequently, they learned the tentacles had evolved from the same sample organism they had in the lab, and the scientists decided to name this creature Organism Zero. To assist with its investigations, Bureau 749 decided to bring back Ma Shan, who was the son of the miner linked to the mining disaster that occurred in 1992. Upon learning this information, Guoju makes an effort to secure a flight for Ma Shan out of the city so that Ma Shan can seek refuge with an old army friend of Guoju. At the same time, Ma Shan is standing on the bridge of the building next to the mine as he envisions the peculiar tentacle that frequently surfaces in his thoughts. He subsequently makes his way back to the bar where he encounters a drunken man who attempts to harass his aunt, Erniang. He lifts the man in the wheelchair and hurls him out of the bar as if the man were made of cotton, which reveals that Ma Shan possesses a superhuman ability. He then meets Guoju, and the old man warns him to leave as soon as possible, as Bureau 749 is searching for him. Ma Shan does not want to leave, for he wishes to complete his work on a mystery gift for Guoju for his birthday, which is concealed beneath a large piece of fabric. However, Guoju considers it to be of no value, so he instructs Ma Shan to depart before it's too late. Because Ma Shan possesses mutation powers, Guoju provides him with medicine that suppresses those abilities. Suddenly, Erniang engages in conversation since she notices the individuals from Bureau 749 coming up, prompting her to quickly guide Ma Shan in making their escape from the bar. Very soon, the people of Bureau 749 attempt to locate Ma Shan, but they still fail to find him. They pull the big fabrics out from Ma Shan's mystery gift, and Guoju is shocked when the gift turns out to be the mini helicopter. At the same time, the drones are observing Erniang and Ma Shan as they drive a car and head toward the city. What is even worse, they soon observe police officers examining vehicles. So Erniang advises Ma Shan to take the subway to get out of the city. Ma Shan quickly travels on his skateboard, and upon arriving in the city, he finds himself wrongly accused of theft, which prompts a crowd to begin chasing him. They pursue him closely across numerous levels of the building, but Ma Shan manages to escape them and ultimately reaches the subway station. He quickly hops onto a train, but he notices something is wrong when no one else gets on as the door shuts in front of him. The train begins to move, and a young woman named Xia Hua, who is a special power girl educated at the bureau, shows up and greets Ma Shan. The train suddenly switches tracks and moves toward Bureau 749. When they arrive there, Xia Hua greets him as though Ma Shan has returned home. Actually, Ma Shan had grown up in this place after his parents passed away, but he rebelled and left before being adopted by Guoju and Erniang. Although other kids with superhuman powers frequently bullied him for being different, Xia Hua consistently stood by his side to offer support. Along the way, Ma Shan is filled with surprise after many years of being away from this place, and he becomes increasingly excited upon catching sight of the giant mythical sea monster. He even meets with a sarcastic welcome from all the other individuals with special powers who not only grew up alongside him, but also bullied him during his youth. Very soon, Ma Shan encounters Dong Bei, the head of the new bureau, and upon their meeting, Dong Bei requests his assistance with the case of Organism Zero. However, Ma Shan remains unwilling to work, which prompts Dong Bei to threaten action against Guoju for tax evasion and Erniang for the sale of counterfeit wines. Having no other options available to him, Ma Shan ultimately resolves to assist Bureau 749 one last time. Before Dong Bei begins the research, he prepares a test for Ma Shan, ensuring that everything is for the upcoming study. He takes him to a location that is similar to an NBA arena where Ma Shan hands his bag to Xia Hua, and then they begin the test. As the test begins, huge metal balls appear, which a scientist controls and strike Ma Shan, resembling a virtual reality game. Actually, Dong Bei wants to assist Ma Shan in revealing his mutant powers, but Ma Shan is struggling and attempts to evade the attacks. Seeing this, Dr. Guang suggests stopping the test as it may endanger Ma Shan's life. However, Dong Bei remains steadfast in its commitment to increasing the intensity. Consequently, Ma Shan feels trapped and recalls the bullying experiences of the past, causing his powers to erupt suddenly, disrupting everything in the arena, while everyone looks on in shock. Seeing this, Xia Hua feels a surge of worry and swiftly approaches him as a strange wing-like shape emerges from his back, only to retract moments later. Simultaneously, a scientist comes across Ma Shan's bag, which contains unusual medicine within it. While Ma Shan is unconscious, he dreams about something strange that is similar to the giant birds. Suddenly, he wakes up and sees his back wound, so he thinks that he has finished the tests. Consequently, he tries to escape. However, Dong Bei clearly communicates and cautions him about the consequences that will ensue should he choose to depart. He instructs Xia Hua to take care of Ma Shan, for she is the only individual in whom he places his trust. A few days later, Bureau 749 receives a report indicating that the organism Zero, which resides in the lake within the mining pit, has increased in size, and it will not be long before it poses a threat to the city. Meanwhile, Guoju visits the newspaper center and he requests that they spread the news about Ma Shan's disappearance. At the same time that Xia Hua is treating Ma Shan, she simultaneously employs her telekinesis powers, which assist in relaxing him. Meanwhile, Dr. Guang researches Ma Shan's medicine, discovering that it serves to temporarily suppress Ma Shan's mutation abilities. After knowing this, Dong Bei considers the possibility that someone could be covertly assisting Ma Shan to hide his abilities. The following day, Dong Bei brings Ma Shan to observe a smaller version of Organism Zero inside the lab, as he hopes to discover a method to communicate with it. Nonetheless, Ma Shan claims that he has no idea of this creature, which enrages Dong Bei and leads him to press Ma Shan's face against the glass container. Surprisingly, Organism Zero suddenly starts to reach out to him mentally, showing him the future views and compelling him to unite and help in the annihilation of humankind. Upon hearing this, Ma Shan is taken aback and he resolves to keep the information to himself. However, when Dr. Guang examines the data, he realizes that Ma Shan has communicated with Organism Zero. He conveys this information to Dong Bei, who then inquires about the conversation between Ma Shan and Organism Zero. However, Dr. Guang asserts that he is unaware of this fact, as Organism Zero's conversation constitutes a type of frequency system. The following day, they lead Ma Shan into the chamber filled with the strange metal fragments sourced from the mine as they attempt to fix them through the use of a magnetic field. When Ma Shan walks toward the field, he unexpectedly finds himself in a strange place, and 3 divine alien figures welcome him there. They abruptly request his help in safeguarding the planet, asserting that Ma Shan represents their final hope. They explain that 50,000 years ago, they had carried the most dangerous monster to their planet, but their spaceship unfortunately crashed into the Earth. They add that their ship possessed a core that had the potential to defeat the monster. However, it was ultimately destroyed, resulting in metal fragments scattered everywhere. To solve the problem, they hid their final life energy within the core, and it was only Ma Shan who possessed the ability to repair it, as his father carried their blood along with the monster, and Ma Shan was the same. Upon hearing this, Ma Shan resolutely declines to participate in the act of being involved, causing the 3 aliens to enter his body. The wings suddenly re-emerge from his back, and some of his blood falls onto the metal fragments, causing them to fuse together. Simultaneously, the smaller version of Organism Zero starts to diminish in strength, and the scientists express their joy, believing that the creature is dying. Unfortunately, Organism Zero awakens once more, whereas Ma Shan collapses into unconsciousness, and the metal fragments shatter again. The scientists hold the belief that the sole method to eliminate Organism Zero involves Ma Shan undergoing a complete transformation, which would grant him the necessary power to repair the core. At the same time, Organism Zero recognizes the imminent threat, and it subsequently emits a strange fog from the mining pit that spreads throughout the city. This fog not only transforms all the birds into mutated monsters, but also directs them toward the mining pit, seemingly in defense of Organism Zero. Very soon, the people begin to voice their concerns regarding these bird monsters, which ultimately leads to Bureau 749 facing significant trouble. Having no options left, Dongbei decides to expedite the completion of Ma Shan's mutant abilities to resolve all the issues at hand. He devises a strategy that enables Ma Shan to escape from Bureau 749, and he guides him back to the mining pit, hoping Organism Zero will help him complete the transformation. To execute this plan, Bureau 749 requests assistance from another girl named Yan Yan. Yan Yan later disguises herself as a mutated girl subjected to experiments by the people of Bureau 749 and evokes a sense of pity in Ma Shan, who sees the parallels between her situation and his own. Subsequently, the Bureau collaborates to create a fake emergency within the base, which allows them to unlock all the gates. Seeing this as a wonderful opportunity to escape, Ma Shan attempts to slip away quietly. He even assists Yan Yan, who seeks his assistance, and they escape together to the bar located beside the mining pit, unaware that everything is a trap. Very soon, Jia Hua prepares to catch Ma Shan following the order, along with the special team made up of people with special abilities. Meanwhile, Dongbei reaches the upstairs of the bar, where he finds the missing pamphlet and ultimately encounters Guoju. He recognizes that Guoju is not an ordinary individual, having previously worked as a scientist at Bureau 749 before Dongbei assumed leadership, which means Dongbei lacks background about him. Dongbei finds himself perplexed by Guoju's decision to create medicine for Ma Shan, as it seems counterintuitive to the Bureau's purpose. Actually, Guoju consistently worked for Bureau 749, as his mission is aimed at studying the mining pit while also monitoring Ma Shan. This suggests that Guoju's mission is to monitor Ma Shan and make him undergo complete transformation, rather than to conceal him. Guoju responds that Ma Shan never intended to become a hero, nor did he aspire to transform into a mutated person. Instead, Ma Shan merely desired to be an average individual, similar to the other people. Meanwhile, Ma Shan and Yan Yan step into the bars and they meet Ernyang, who is pleased to see them safe. Everyone begins to celebrate his return, but Organism Zero inside the mining pit suddenly starts to act strangely, which in turn affects Ma Shan as well. Feeling uncomfortable, he takes his medicine, believing that it will suppress his mutation abilities. What he doesn't realize is that Dongbei has transitioned it to vitamin water, and this change has led to an increase in his mutation abilities instead. At the same time, Organism Zero starts aggressively employing its tentacles to attack those near the pit, which causes Ma Shan's powers to intensify, resulting in wings fully emerging from his back. As everyone witnesses this, they quickly assume it's a special effect and begin taking pictures of him, which overwhelms him with memories of past bullying. Although Guoju and Eunyoung try to pull him away, the crowd forcefully pushes them back, making their efforts futile. Dongbei suddenly instructs his team to apprehend Ma Shan, and they proceed to shoot him with a tranquilizer dart. Before Ma Shan faints, he realizes that everything is merely a component of Dongbei's plan, and Yanyan's actions are nothing but a cover-up. Before bringing Ma Shan back to the center, the people of Bureau 749 decide to delete all pictures of Ma Shan from everyone's phones. However, while they are making their way back, Ma Shan awakens to the sound of Xia Hua, who is attempting to defend him against the accusations made by others, saying he is a monster. He suddenly recalls his past experiences of bullying, and this infuriates him. Consequently, he unexpectedly smashes the truck and flies away from the area. After receiving a report regarding Ma Shan's escape, Dongbei decides to visit Guoju again. He discovers that Guoju's concealed laboratory is brimming with medicine. Guoju reveals that he has dedicated 10 years to the development of these medicines. They can temporarily suppress the growth of mutants, benefiting Ma Shan and serving as a crucial measure in the fight against Organism Zero. Since Ma Shan is related by blood to Organism Zero, this connection implies that if the medicine can suppress him, it will also affect the creature in the same way. However, Dongbei remains determined to harness Ma Shan's full transformation abilities to repair the alien core, thereby eliminating Organism Zero. He requests assistance from Guoju to bring back Ma Shan while also revealing Ma Shan's whereabouts, since the members of Bureau 749 have placed a tracker on him. Although Guoju feels uncertain initially, he ultimately chooses to consent for the benefit of humanity and fight against the monster. A few days later, after careful consideration, Bureau 749 has decided to evacuate the citizens from the city, recognizing the urgency of the situation. Guoju, utilizing a tracker, locates Ma Shan in a tall building. He inspires Ma Shan by reminding him that everyone dreams of having wings to soar wherever they wish, and he emphasizes that Ma Shan is indeed a fortunate person, even though Ma Shan himself thinks this makes him a monster. He requests Ma Shan's assistance to help Bureau 749 fix the core, and he states that he never left Bureau 749 at all while bringing Ma Shan to the edge of the mining pit, which is part of the plan to study him. After hearing this, Ma Shan comes to believe that those he holds in the highest regard are the very ones who deceive him, a realization that only exacerbates his suffering. Feeling hopeless, Ma Shan decides to leave in search of a place where he can conceal himself. Later, since Ma Shan decides against assisting Bureau 749 any longer, Dongbei perceives their sole opportunity slipping away, prompting him to prepare for the worst while people leave the city. Meanwhile, Guoju instructs his employee at the bar to leave the area, hoping everyone will be safe. He also provides some money to Eunyoung for her safety, urging her to leave immediately, while he prepares to fulfill his duty one last time. Later, every member of Bureau 749 bids farewell to their families while gearing up to battle until the very end. They face a significant threat, and their last opportunity lies in deploying a nuclear weapon to address the danger they encounter. However, Xia Hua remains concerned for Ma Shan, so she decides to seek him in the city. Surprisingly, Dongbei requests that she apologize to Ma Shan for the immense pressure he has placed on him, while also assuring Ma Shan that Bureau 749 will cease its search for him from this point forward. At the same time, Guoju is getting his mini helicopter ready, loading it with medicine and various bombs so that he can suppress Organism Zero, while also hoping to provide enough time for the citizens to evacuate. Although Eunyoung has not yet departed, this situation has led to a dispute between them. As she reveals that she cannot part from her family in this circumstance, Guoju feels a surge of excitement, and with tears glistening in his eyes, he embraces her tightly. After an hour has passed, the ground begins to tremble, while Organism Zero commences its destruction of everything in sight. Xia Hua discovers Ma Shan in the old orphanage that served as his childhood home. Feeling betrayed by his only family, Ma Shan experiences deep hurt, and he struggles to cope with his emotions. Xia Hua attempts to make him realize that he ought to feel remorseful for speaking negatively about Guoju. Actually, Guoju was always there to assist him during the time he lost control of his powers and became wheelchair-bound. Even though he is not Ma Shan's biological father, he shows a great deal of care for him. Ma Shan experiences a profound impact from this realization. And just as he grapples with it, Xia Hua informs him that Guoju remains in the mining area, prompting Ma Shan to swiftly reach out to him. At the same time, Guoju stands on the bridge, waiting to confront Organism Zero. He answers the call, and he becomes very excited upon hearing Ma Shan's voice again, for he believes that Ma Shan will not forgive his mistake. He states that, although living with Ma Shan is a mission, he has always regarded him as his son. He reassures Ma Shan not to fear his wings, for although the pit is deep, it still offers a view worth seeing. He even hopes to see Ma Shan live for his own sake and to pursue his desires, and then he hangs up the phone. Consequently, Guoju and Erniang, despite the danger, rush toward the monster, sacrificing their safety to temporarily freeze it with medicine containers. This action infuriates Ma Shan, which compels him to return to Bureau 749 in order to fix the core, kill the monster, and fulfill his uncle's goal. Unfortunately, Organism Zero perceives this threat and dispatches bird monsters to stop him. Very soon, the bird monsters begin to attack the car, and Ma Shan and Xia Hua manage to fend off some of them, revealing their quick thinking and teamwork. Unfortunately, the two soon realize that their road is broken, and the car's brakes have even sustained damage. With no other option available, Ma Shan leaps off, whereas Xia Hua finds herself unable to do so as the car crumbles and plunges off the bridge. Upon witnessing the situation, Ma Shan swiftly employs his ability to rescue her from peril. What is even worse, countless bird monsters emerge, relentlessly chasing them through the skies. Some of these monsters even move toward Bureau 749, intent on breaking the Bureau down completely. Knowing this, Bureau 749 activates the auto submachine gun to eliminate the enemies, but the creatures, being exceptionally intelligent, manage to destroy them with ease. At the same time, Ma Shan tries to save Xia Hua by holding her and flying to safety, but he soon discovers that he is trapped on the top of the building. At that moment, just as they are beginning to lose hope, Dongbei arrives in a helicopter, and he ultimately saves them from their predicament. Unfortunately, the effect of the suppressed medicines has run out. As a result, Organism Zero suddenly begins to attack the city once more. The creatures attempt to capture Ma Shan, and Dongbei takes it upon himself to escort both him and Xia Hua to the Bureau. When they arrive, Dongbei leaves them to go inside the Bureau before rejoining his team to confront the bird monsters. Xia Hua swiftly makes her way to the alien core room, where she activates the magnetic zone, while Ma Shan spreads his wings to repair the core. At the same time, Organism Zero escapes the effects of the medicine, and it heads toward the facility while destroying everything in its path. Meanwhile, Dongbei and the others courageously fight against the bird monsters. Unfortunately, he sacrifices his life to safeguard the base, expressing his apologies to Ma Shan through the radio just before the helicopter hits the mountain. What is even worse, the creature arrives at the main base, and it begins to unleash chaos in every direction. Suddenly, Ma Shan completes the core at a crucial moment, but Organism Zero captures Xia Hua, forcing Ma Shan to face a hard decision. He suddenly tosses the core into the air, and while he hurries to rescue her, she pushes him away, insisting that he should save humanity instead. Ma Shan cries and flies toward the core, but he is suddenly stabbed by tentacles, which causes everyone to feel their hope fading, and Ma Shan himself loses consciousness. At the same time, the Special Air Forces arrive and make preparations to drop the nuclear bomb as planned. During this significant period, Ma Shan reflects on the experiences he had while he was in his mother's womb. Although his mother had known she would die after giving birth, she still chose to bring Ma Shan to see the world, as she believed her son would make everyone proud someday. Suddenly, Ma Shan's blood touches the core and it activates, causing a series of unexpected events to unfold. The core completely freezes Organism Zero and it draws it in, utilizing the metal it has accumulated over the years to construct a spaceship. 3 enormous aliens eventually appear before Ma Shan, expressing their gratitude for his role in saving the planet, while simultaneously requesting that he continue to safeguard Earth in the times to come. A few months later, people construct a museum in honor of their winged hero. Ma Shan visits the museum, and he notices a lovely inscription that reads, "The world leaves me scarred all over, but from these wounds grow wings." Suddenly, as someone uses their telekinesis powers to move a glass, the movie concludes with this striking scene. So, what do you guys think about this movie? Let me know in the comment below, and if you like my video, please press like and subscribe for more. I'll see you guys next time.